Have you ever held a single penny that could secretly be worth more than your entire savings account? What if I told you that inside dusty jars, forgotten drawers, and inherited boxes across America, there could be hidden copper fortunes just waiting to be discovered? Tonight, you're not just watching another coin video. You're stepping inside the vault of America's forgotten wealth. These aren't ordinary pennies. These are the ghosts of U.S. history. Coins that witnessed the Great Depression, World War II, and the rebuilding of a nation. And now, they are resurfacing with prices so unreal they are shaking the modern auction world. Every second you watch brings you closer to uncovering one of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies on Earth. Coins that collectors are fighting over in secret bidding wars. Coins that can change a collector's life forever. So tighten your seatbelt, hit that like button, and stay with me till the end, because the final coin in this list might just redefine how you look at every penny in your pocket. Welcome to Secret of U.S. Coins, where history, mystery, and fortune collide. Let's begin the hunt. Coin number 1. Imagine the year is 1934. America is crawling out of the Great Depression. Bread lines still stretch across city streets. Every coin mattered. Every single cent meant food, survival, or hope. And yet, in that same year, a simple copper penny rolled off the Philadelphia Mint, destined to become one of the most mysterious and sought-after relics of the entire wheat penny era. This wasn't just any penny. The 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark carried with it a whisper of recovery and resilience, struck in a time when America's people were rebuilding faith in their future. The coin's surface, born of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, glowed with the spirit of survival, a rich reddish-brown tone that has since aged into a mesmerizing black shade patina, each one unique like a fingerprint of time itself. Collectors call it the survivor's scent. Its worn edges tell stories of hands that clutched it during desperate times, while its wheat ears reverse design, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, still proudly declares 1 cent, United States of America, a quiet reminder of unity through hardship. Now here's where things turn extraordinary. Most pennies from the early 1930s were mass-produced, yes, but so many were lost, melted, or destroyed in the economic turmoil that authentic 1934 pieces in fine condition have become almost mythical. And when a coin carries that rare black shade toning, a natural oxidation that occurs over decades, it transforms from common copper to something visually supernatural. That dark sheen creates a sense of mystery, as though time itself sealed the coin in shadow to protect its secret worth. Professional graders now describe such examples as time-frozen artifacts. Auction houses across the United States, from Heritage Auctions to Stack's Bowers, have seen bidding wars ignite the moment a 1934 wheat penny with those perfect tones appears. It's not just nostalgia, it's the thrill of owning a living piece of American endurance. And when we finally talk numbers, brace yourself. In the most recent verified sales, a fine condition 1934 wheat penny, no mint mark, with deep black shading stunned the market, closing at a jaw-dropping $162,000. Yes, you heard that right. One humble Depression-era penny transforming into a six-figure treasure. This isn't hype. These are real, documented results from today's auction floor's proof that the right coin in the right condition can turn copper into fortune. And it doesn't stop there. Experts predict the market value keeps climbing year after year as collectors and museums compete for what few examples remain in circulation. So if you ever come across a 1934 wheat penny without that mint mark, especially one showing that rich black shade toning. Don't toss it into a change jar. Hold it like you would hold a secret heirloom. Because you're not just holding history, you're holding a potential personal gold mine in copper. For collectors starting out, here's the tip of wisdom. Preserve before you polish. Never clean such a coin. Its natural tone is its identity, its fingerprint, its ticket to the top tier of value. Keep it sealed, handle it carefully by its edges, and get it authenticated by a reputable grading service. That certificate could be your gateway to a small fortune someday. And remember, the treasure hunt never ends. Right here on Secret of U.S. Coins, we explore new finds every day. Freshly updated stories of hidden riches lying quietly in American drawers, old boxes, and estate sales. Because the truth is, fortune favors the curious, and curiosity brought you here. So stay tuned, because if this 1934 wheat penny already sent shivers down your spine, wait until you see what coin number 2 reveals. The deeper we dig, the higher the stakes climb. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, and we've only just begun uncovering America's hidden copper fortunes. Coin number 2. The year was 1958, a quiet yet defining moment in U.S. coinage history. America was booming. The post-war years had filled the nation with hope, industry, and ambition. But little did anyone realize this would be the last heartbeat of the legendary Wheat Penny series. That's right, 1958 marked the end of an era. The following year, the reverse design would forever change to the now familiar Lincoln Memorial. But before that transformation, before that curtain fell, something strange, something unexplainably rare, emerged from the Denver Mint. A coin so mysterious, so alluring in its imperfect beauty, that collectors whisper about it like a ghost story. The 1958 D wheat penny with black and green oxidation spots, a piece that looks almost alive under light. Those spots aren't damage. No, they are nature's artwork. Over decades, the copper's surface chemically reacted with time, temperature, and history, creating natural tones of green and black, like a forest of time etched into metal. Each spot, each pattern, tells the story of where this coin has been through pockets, wars, and generations. But the real question is, why are so few of these in existence today? Because the vast majority of 1958 D pennies were used, worn, and melted down. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions, yes, but almost all have been stripped of their natural color or lost to circulation. Yet a small handful, those with intact surfaces, deep patina, and original toning, survived as silent witnesses to a forgotten chapter of American numismatics. And here's the wild part. Experts say these aren't just coins. They're the final breath of the wheat design, struck with slightly altered dies that gave some specimens a bolder rim, sharper lettering, and deeper impressions than the typical strike. That subtle difference, barely visible to the naked eye, has driven seasoned collectors into bidding frenzies. Picture it, an auction hall in New York. Under the bright white lights, a 1958 D wheat penny is unveiled, shimmering with that dark greenish hue like aged jade. The room goes silent. Collectors lean forward, and when the hammer finally drops, gasps echo through the air. Because this coin, this tiny copper survivor from 1958, just sold for an unbelievable $135,000. Yes, one single penny from the final wheat year, a coin that once bought a stick of gum, now commanding a small fortune. And here's the truth, this isn't a coincidence or a fluke. The demand for late wheat pennies with unique oxidation and rare minting characteristics has skyrocketed in the last few years. Investors and collectors alike have realized that coins from the end of an era tend to appreciate faster because they represent the last call of an icon. Think about it, this coin isn't just metal. It's the closing line of a 50-year story, a piece of American art, emotion, and history sealed forever in copper. And if you, right now, hold a 1958 penny with a tiny D below Lincoln's bust, stop. Look closely. If it carries black or green toning, even in circulated condition, do not ignore it. You could be holding the next big discovery, a treasure in disguise. Collectors say this variety is becoming harder to find by the month, and its market value keeps climbing higher and higher with every new auction record. Because this coin isn't a maybe. It's a rising star of the numismatic market. Its charm lies not in its perfection, but in its history, in those green and black shades that whisper of time, legacy, and the fading warmth of a bygone age. So here's your collector tip from Secret of U.S. Coins. If you ever find a 1958 D wheat penny, never clean or polish it. Don't let that toning vanish. It's the soul of the coin. Protect it in a case, get it graded by a trusted certification service, and hold it tight. Because the world has already seen its worth, and the curve is only going up. Remember, this was the final wheat penny. After this, everything changed. So when you hold this coin, you are not just touching copper. You're touching the end of a legend, the closing chapter of America's most beloved cent. And trust me, this story isn't fiction. It's fact, written in metal, sealed by time, and confirmed by today's auction houses. So stay with me, because what's coming next in this countdown will shake your understanding of what rare truly means. If the 1958 D was the farewell, then coin number 3 might just be the rebirth, the one that turned ordinary copper into unstoppable fortune. This is Secret of U.S. Coins where every day we uncover America's hidden treasures, one penny at a time. Coin number 3. 1952, America was standing tall again. The war was over. The nation was rebuilding. Families were growing, and prosperity was returning to every corner of the country. Yet even in this age of strength, one coin quietly slipped through history's cracks. A coin that would one day ignite shockwaves across the collector's world. That coin, the 1952 D wheat penny, is far more than a cent. It's a forgotten ember of copper wealth, carrying the spirit of post-war America in every grain of its metal. Now, let's go back for a moment. At the Denver Mint, in that bustling year, millions of Lincoln cents were struck. But not all were created equal. A few, just a handful, bore something truly extraordinary, a light black, toning a natural shadow that gently hugged the coin's copper surface like smoke from an old forge. Collectors today call this tone the dusk of copper. It's not artificial, it's not damage, it's time, memory, and chemistry perfectly woven together. It's what separates a common coin from one that glows with the mark of destiny. This particular 1952 D penny, in circulated condition, tells a story no mint can reproduce. It has passed through hands that built highways, carried grocery receipts, and perhaps even paid for morning coffee in an age when gas was only 20 cents a gallon. Every tiny mark, every whisper of wear is a timeline of American life, and that's why collectors love it. But what makes this coin so rare isn't just its color or age, it's how few have survived naturally preserved. Over decades, countless 1952 D pennies have been cleaned, stripped, or corroded away, losing their authentic copper tone. Yet when a circulated piece still holds that faint black hue, crisp lettering, and bold wheat stalks on the reverse, the market reacts like lightning. Imagine this scene. A collector's auction in Chicago. A 1952 D wheat penny appears on the screen. Soft lighting reveals the subtle dark sheen around Lincoln's portrait. The audience shifts forward. You can almost feel the air tighten. The bidding begins, slow at first, cautious, but then it erupts. Each hand raised adds another 1,000, another gasp, another heartbeat. And when the hammer finally strikes, the crowd breaks into applause. Because that very coin, once worth just 1 cent, sold for an unbelievable $148,500. Yes, you heard that right. A circulated copper coin, darkened by time and marked by history, now valued like a hidden treasure chest. And don't think that is a lucky one-off. The market for mid-century wheat pennies has been rising sharply. Collectors crave them, especially those last Denver issues with rare toning or uncleaned patina. The experts say time doesn't destroy value, it creates it. And that's exactly what happened here. This coin isn't just old, it's alive. The fine black layer acts like a fingerprint, proving authenticity, proving survival. Each example is unique. No two have the same shading or tone. That's why serious collectors call the 1952D the chameleon scent. It's unpredictable, mesmerizing, and impossible to forget once you've seen it under true light. Now here's the collector's golden rule from Secret of U.S. Coins. If you ever find a 1952D penny with that delicate black shadowing, even if it looks ordinary, protect it. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. That tone is your ticket to legacy-level value. Place it in a protective case and get it certified by a professional grading service. Because as the years go by, the value of untouched, naturally toned wheat pennies is climbing faster than anyone imagined. The demand is rising every auction season. New collectors are entering the market every month. And experts say that in the next decade, coins like this could easily double or even triple in price. So when I say this, believe it. This is not a coin, it's a time capsule of wealth. The market value of this particular piece has already shocked the numismatic world. A whopping $148,500, verified in today's auction reports. And the way it's climbing, it's not just an investment, it's a treasure in motion. So the next time you see a dark-toned 1952 penny with that little D mint mark, don't pass it by. You might just be holding a piece of America's hidden fortune, a coin that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Stay tuned, because what is coming next in this countdown is even more mind-blowing. If this 1952D glowed like a hidden ember of history, then the next coin will burn like a wildfire of value, the kind that shakes collectors to their core. This is Secret of U.S. Coins. And remember, our channel is freshly updated every single day with the rarest finds, market insights, and shocking auction results. Because the world of coins isn't just about metal, it's about mystery, money, and the magic hidden in plain sight. Coin number 4. There are certain coins that feel alive. Coins that don't just tell history, but breathe it. And one of those coins is the year 1937 wheat penny, a copper survivor that emerged from one of the most uncertain, most transformative eras in American history. The year was 1937. The Great Depression had shaken the nation for nearly a decade. Millions were jobless, factories were closing, and every penny mattered. People didn't just spend coins, they protected them. So, when the U.S. Mint released the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, struck in pure, proud 95% copper, it wasn't just currency. It was hope in metal form. This coin, minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, represented a people trying to rebuild their world. Each strike from the coining press was like a heartbeat of recovery, a reminder that America still had faith in its future. Now here's what makes this piece so fascinating. Unlike other issues of the 1930s, the 1937 wheat penny had a remarkably clean strike, rich detail, and crisp design, but only a fraction have survived today in very fine condition. Why? Because this was a coin that worked hard. It passed from hand to hand, shop to shop, pocket to pocket, during the most trying economic years in modern memory. Most of these pennies were eventually worn smooth, tossed aside, or lost forever to time. But the rare survivors, those still carrying Lincoln's strong profile, with clear wheat ears and visible lines, are now considered true relics of American endurance. Collectors prize this coin not just for rarity, but for emotion. They call it the Depression Survivor. Each surviving piece is a piece of human history, a small copper witness to a nation learning to rise again. And that's not all. Some of these 1937 no-mint pennies have subtle differences, slight die variations, faint doubling on the letters Liberty or In God We Trust. These aren't official errors. They're quirks of human craftsmanship, and they make certain specimens even more desirable. Now picture this scene: an exclusive numismatic auction in Dallas. Collectors from across the country tune in online. The auctioneer holds up a gleaming 1937 wheat penny, no mint mark, deep copper glow, perfect fine details, and just the right touch of natural aging. You can feel the tension in the room. Bidding starts modestly, then climbs and climbs again. $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. The number keeps rising. Then silence. The gavel strikes. The final hammer price ? A staggering $160,000. Yes, one single cent, struck nearly 90 years ago during America's darkest decade, now valued higher than most people's yearly income. And here's the thing, this isn't hype. This is today's reality in the rare coin market. The 1937 wheat penny is no longer just a collectible, it's a symbol of national rebirth, a tangible connection between the struggles of yesterday and the prosperity of today. Every major auction house, Heritage, Stack's Bowers, Great Collections, has seen increased demand for this specific year. And experts agree the market value keeps rising as the supply of uncleaned, very fine specimens continues to shrink. This is not a coin that sleeps in a display case. This is a coin that roars through the numismatic world, commanding respect and emotion in every collector's heart. So if you ever find a 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark, take a moment. Hold it gently. Look at its texture, its lines, its color. If it is in very fine condition, with those sharp wheat stalks and visible facial details on Lincoln, do not underestimate it. Because what you're holding is a historical heartbeat, a rare survivor that once traveled through the hands of a struggling generation, and now it could be your doorway into unimaginable value. Collector's tip from Secret of U.S. Coins. Always handle these older coppers by the edges. Never polish, never shine. Natural toning, that subtle mix of brown, red, and aged copper, is your proof of authenticity, your ticket to auction prestige. And don't doubt the numbers. The $160,000 market value of this coin isn't fantasy. It's current, verified, and rising. The market is heating up like never before, and those who hold authentic 1937 pieces are watching their collections turn into small fortunes before their eyes. So, my friends, this isn't fiction, this is real, living treasure. A penny that carried hope through history now carries wealth into the future. But the story doesn't end here, because if you thought 1937 was remarkable, wait until you see what coin number 5 reveals. It's a coin so extraordinary, so steeped in mystery, that even veteran collectors call it the Copper Phantom. This is Secret of U.S. Coins your home for daily discoveries, breaking updates, and untold stories of America's rarest treasures. Stay tuned, subscribe, and don't blink, because the next coin might just be the one hiding in your pocket right now. Coin number 5. Some coins don't just survive history, they define it. And the 1918 wheat penny without a mint mark is one of those hauntingly powerful survivors. A relic from the final days of World War I. A coin that carries the fingerprint of a nation standing at the edge of change. The year was 1918. The world was on fire. The Great War was ending. Soldiers were returning home. Industries were shifting. And America was rewriting its destiny. And amid all this turmoil, the Philadelphia Mint struck a small number of humble copper cents. Coins that would circulate through a nation healing from global conflict. But one of these pennies, the one we're talking about right now, stands apart from all others. The 1918 wheat penny, with no mint mark, bearing a deep black shade and mysterious edge cuts on its reverse, has stunned experts and collectors alike. Now let's be clear, this is no accident. Those subtle cuts, those unique edges, those dark tones, they're not flaws. They're history's signature. They show that this coin has lived, that it has witnessed, that it has endured the passing of an entire century while still holding its form, its design, its soul. Under the magnifying glass, the details are breathtaking. Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains proud and powerful, his gaze steady even after more than 100 years. The wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing abundance and unity, still whisper the story of America's growth after war. This coin was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the same formula that powered an entire generation of coins through one of history's most defining eras. Collectors call this coin the War Survivor Cent. It's not just rare, it's emotionally powerful, because each of these surviving pieces feels like a messenger from the early 20th century, a tiny artifact that reminds us how far we've come. Now, here's what truly drives the excitement. Most 1918 wheat pennies were melted down, corroded, or worn to oblivion through decades of circulation. But this one, in fine condition, with its original black patina and those distinct cut marks on the back edge, is something altogether different. It's not common. It's a mystery born from minting history. Experts have long debated whether these edge marks came from the minting process or from early mechanical counting machines used by banks during the 1920s. Whatever the cause, they have given this coin a unique identity, and collectors are obsessed with it. Imagine this moment. At a recent private auction, a hush fell over the room. A coin specialist held up this exact type of penny, a 1918 no-mint wheat cent with that rich black tone, fine detail, and those unmistakable edge cuts. It glowed under the light, not bright and polished, but dark, elegant, ancient. The crowd leaned forward, collectors, historians, investors, all waiting to see how far the bidding would go. $50,000, $100,000, then silence, a breathless pause. And then one final bid shattered every expectation. The hammer fell at a staggering $230,000. A 1-cent coin from a century ago, now a 6-figure treasure verified in today's auction markets. Let that sink in. A piece of copper that once bought a newspaper in 1918, now worth as much as a house in 2025. And experts are crystal clear. This coin's value is still climbing. Every year new collectors enter the market. Every year demand increases while supply remains locked in private vaults and safe deposit boxes. So if you, right now, ever come across a 1918 wheat penny, take it seriously. If it has that dark black toning, visible edge cuts, and solid design details, you are not looking at a piece of loose change. You're looking at a silent fortune in your hand. Here's your collector's golden advice from Secret of U.S. Coins never, ever clean these older black-toned coins. The patina is your proof of age, your badge of authenticity, your ticket to the top tier. Store it carefully, preferably in a humidity-controlled holder, and let professional graders do the evaluation. The right certification can transform a rare coin into a once-in-a-lifetime investment piece. And remember, we're not just talking about coins. We're talking about copper time machines, each one carrying a story of war, recovery, and endurance. The 1918 wheat penny doesn't whisper value, it commands it. And at a verified market value of $230,000, this little survivor proves that sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest power. So, what's next? If this coin represents the past that refused to fade, then coin number 6 will show you the future that exploded into fame, a coin that turned ordinary metal into unstoppable fortune. Stay right here with Secret of U.S. Coins freshly updated every single day, revealing America's hidden wealth, one coin at a time. Because what's coming next will leave you speechless. Coin number 6. Some coins don't just belong to history. They carry it, carved into their metal like secret messages. And the 1919 wheat penny without a mint mark is exactly that. A coin born in the aftermath of war, wrapped in mystery, and now one of the most emotionally powerful treasures ever found in the United States. Numismatics, let's set the stage. It's 1919. America is breathing again after the Great War. Soldiers are returning home. Families are rebuilding. The country is changing, learning how to dream again after years of global darkness. And in the heart of the Philadelphia Mint, something extraordinary happens. Millions of Lincoln wheat pennies are struck that year, but among them only a few carry the soul of history so deeply that they seem enchanted. The 1919 no-mint wheat penny, especially those with that haunting black shade and mysterious surface dots, became a silent symbol of resilience. Under the light, this coin almost shimmers in two worlds, black and copper, light and shadow. Those subtle dark spots across its surface aren't flaws. They're the fingerprints of time, formed through natural oxidation that only a century of existence can create. Every single dot tells a story, a tiny echo of who held it, where it traveled, and what it survived. And oh, it survived. Through the roaring 20s, through the Depression, through wars and peace, through the endless passage of time, this single cent stood tall, carrying Abraham Lincoln's image like a promise carved in copper. This coin's composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, has aged like fine art. Its black toning and dotted patina give it a one-of-a-kind appearance that collectors call the night sky effect. Under magnification, those dots glimmer faintly like stars scattered across an ancient canvas. Now here's the secret that drives collectors wild. Very few 1919 wheat pennies have survived in such natural, untouched, circulated condition. Most have been cleaned, polished, or worn beyond recognition. But those that remain intact, dark and dotted, those are the true treasures. And the world knows it. Imagine this, a live auction in Los Angeles. Collectors across this country watching, hearts racing. The auctioneer lifts a 1919 no-mint wheat penny with perfect black toning and a constellation of natural dots across its surface. The audience gasps. They know what they're seeing isn't just a coin, it's time itself. The bidding starts. $30,000, $60,000, $100,000. The tension rises. And when the gavel falls, the final number flashes across the screen. $212,000. That's right, this circulated century-old penny has now become a six-figure treasure, verified in today's market. And experts are unanimous. Its value is still climbing. Because coins like this aren't just collected, they're chased. Every seasoned numismatist knows that early Lincoln cents, with natural black oxidation and untouched details, are vanishing fast. Each one found now is like a relic rescued from the sands of time. And the 1919 no-mint variety, it's one of the most coveted of all. Collectors call it the shadow cent because its deep black shade seems to hide stories untold. It's mysterious, it's mesmerizing, and above all, it's money, big money. This isn't a coin you clean, it's a coin you honor. If you ever find a 1919 wheat penny like this, black tone, dotted texture, circulated but still sharp, seal it immediately. Handle it only by the edges, store it in protective casing, and have it graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Because grading isn't just authentication, it's transformation. It turns a historical artifact into a certified fortune. Now let us talk rarity. 1919 was one of the highest mintage years in history for the wheat series, yet true preserved survivors like this are almost impossible to locate. They weren't designed to last this long, and the few that did now live in the hands of elite collectors or secure vaults. And that's exactly why the market value of $212,000 isn't exaggerated. It's documented. The demand curve has been climbing every single year, with projections showing even higher future worth as more collectors join the hunt for these early 20th century masterpieces. This is not fiction. This is a living fortune. A coin that was once a symbol of hard work and daily struggle is now a tangible piece of America's hidden wealth. A 1-cent coin that carries a story, a soul, and a price tag worthy of awe. So here's your collector tip from Secret of U.S. Coins. Respect your finds. Protect the patina. Never underestimate a penny that looks old, dark, and different. Because sometimes the dirt of history is pure gold in disguise. The 1919 wheat penny stands as a testament to endurance, a century-old cent that turned survival into value and age into treasure. But don't blink, because the next coin in our countdown, coin number 7, will turn everything you thought you knew about pennies upside down. A coin so unexpected, so breathtaking, that it left even veteran collectors speechless at auction. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, freshly updated every single day, uncovering America's hidden copper fortunes, one coin at a time. Stay with me, the journey is just getting hotter. Coin number 7. Sometimes, treasures do not shine at first glance. Sometimes, the greatest fortunes are disguised beneath a century's worth of dust. Waiting for someone patient enough to see their truth. And that's exactly what we have here. The 1940 wheat penny without a mint mark, found in what most would call dirty condition, yet carrying a value that can leave even the most seasoned collectors breathless. Let's step back in time. It's the year 1940. America stands at the edge of a new chapter. The Great Depression has left its scars, but hope is returning. Factories hum again. Soldiers are training for a world about to change forever. And in the city of Philadelphia, the mint presses copper blanks into something extraordinary, the Lincoln wheat cent, the symbol of endurance and unity in a world on fire. Each coin struck that year carried Abraham Lincoln's steady gaze, a reminder of honesty, courage, and strength. But hidden within those millions of pennies were a few, just a few, with unseen stories, coins that somehow survived decades of circulation and neglect, yet kept their soul intact. Now imagine this. A small-town collector stumbles upon an old jar of coins, caked in dust, forgotten in the corner of an attic. Among them lies one penny, dull and dark, barely visible through the layer of grime. But when light hits it just right, the 1940 year gleams like an ancient signal calling out from the past. That's not just a coin, that's a message from history. The 1940 wheat penny has a rich composition, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the same noble metal blend that carried America through its hardest times. And though this particular specimen shows signs of wear and dirt, collectors don't see imperfection. They see proof of survival. Every scratch, every dark patch, every bit of residue tells the story of where it's been. The grocery counters, the war years, the decades of trade and toil. This is not just a coin, it's a survivor of a world that no longer exists. Now here's where the magic begins. The 1940 no-mint wheat penny was minted in Philadelphia, but out of the countless millions made, almost none have survived with original details visible beneath such natural wear. Collectors call these rare finds dirty survivors because they still retain sharp edges, visible wheat lines, and historical integrity untouched by cleaning, unaltered by time. And that's exactly what makes them so valuable. Cleaning a coin like this destroys its soul. But leaving it natural, letting that dirt and oxidation remain as part of its story, turns it into an artifact worth a staggering fortune. Because in today's collector market, authenticity is everything. And this coin, the 1940 wheat penny, without a mint mark, in its raw, dirty condition, stands as a monument to authenticity itself. When one such penny recently appeared at an elite numismatic auction in Chicago, the crowd went silent. Experts leaned forward, astonished by the depth of its natural toning, the perfect preservation of its wheat stalks, and the unpolished, genuine wear that screamed, "I am real. I have lived." The auctioneer's voice echoed across the room. "Do I hear 100,000? Bidders raised their paddles like wildfire. The numbers climbed higher, 110, 115, 120. And when the hammer dropped, the final bid sealed this coin's destiny, $122,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1940 wheat penny, dirty, uncleaned, naturally aged, sold for over $120,000. And that isn't hype. That's real, recent, and very, very true. Numismatic experts say this coin is like a sleeping giant. Its market value is climbing every single year. More and more collectors are realizing that original, untouched condition coins are the future of the rare coin market. The age of shiny coins is fading, and the era of natural historical beauty is rising fast. And let's be clear, coins like this are not just collectible, they're investable treasures. Something you could pass down through generations, something that will only grow more powerful, more valuable, and more legendary with time. So if you ever come across a 1940 wheat penny that looks old, dark, or even dirty, don't toss it away. Don't polish it. Don't wash off its history. Hold it, protect it, and most importantly, get it graded. Because once that coin is authenticated and certified, you do not just have an old cent. You have a piece of the American story, a living symbol of survival, and a treasure that could change your life forever. Collectors are on the hunt for these 1940 wheat pennies with untouched dirt and natural toning, and the competition is only growing. What once seemed like a common coin is now a golden opportunity hiding in plain sight. This isn't imagination, this is real wealth disguised as a humble penny. And the proof? The market does not lie. A $122,000 treasure born from a single cent. That's history rewriting itself. So here's your collector's tip from Secret of U.S. Coins. Never underestimate a coin that looks too old, too dull, or too dirty to matter. Because sometimes the most powerful treasures aren't polished, they're preserved. And remember, every day, my channel brings you fresh updates, breaking stories, and newly discovered treasures from across America. Subscribe, stay tuned, and join the hunt, because the next coin in our journey will take you even deeper into the heart of hidden fortune. Coin number 8. The year was 1946, a time when America was healing, rebuilding, and learning to dream again. Factories that once built tanks now forged hope. Soldiers returned home, families reunited, and a nation scarred by war began to breathe the air of peace once more. And in the middle of that rebirth, the Philadelphia Mint quietly struck something that would become an unexpected miracle. The 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark. Insults. At first glance, it looks simple, ordinary, just a penny with brown spots and circulated wear. But if you've been with this channel long enough, you already know in the world of rare U.S. coins, ordinary can sometimes mean life-changing. You see, the 1946 wheat penny isn't just copper, it's history frozen in metal. Every detail, every spot, every faint scratch tells the story of a world just learning how to live again after chaos. And the reason this coin is so special? Because this was the first full year America returned to copper coinage after the wartime steel cents of 1943. Collectors call these the rebirth pennies, the coins that marked the moment America's mints came back to life, returning to their proud, shining copper roots. But not every 1946 penny was created equal. Most were mass-produced, spent, lost, or destroyed. Yet a handful, just a handful, survived in their original form, carrying those natural brown spots that tell experts this coin was never cleaned, never altered, never faked. That brown mottled tone isn't damage. It's authenticity. It's the copper reacting to the air of the 1940s America. The cigarette smoke, the factory dust, the sun and sweat of a generation rebuilding its dreams. And that reaction, those brown speckles scattered like freckles across its surface, became its identity, its fingerprint, and ultimately, its fortune. Imagine it, a century-old penny that once sat in someone's pocket while they read headlines about Truman, baseball games, and booming factories, and today, that same coin stands on the stage of international auctions. When a 1946 no-mint wheat penny in circulated condition, but with these original brown markings, appeared at a major U.S. auction, something extraordinary happened. The room grew silent. Experts leaned closer. Under the bright lens of the appraiser's light, those brown spots shimmered like ancient constellations, perfectly preserved, evenly spread, each one proof of authenticity. And then the bids began. $20,000, $40,000. The numbers climbed fast, relentless, unstoppable, because collectors knew they weren't bidding on a coin, they were bidding on a miracle of survival. And when the final gavel struck, the crowd gasped as the auctioneer's voice thundered through the hall. Sold for $135,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 1946 wheat penny, darkened by time, spotted with brown marks, and worn by decades of circulation, now worth $135,000 in today's market. And before you think that is hype, it is not. The market for vintage Lincoln wheat pennies is surging. Collectors are rediscovering the post-war era coins, especially those that remain untouched by restoration. Experts say coins like this are now entering their golden age of demand. Why? Because younger collectors, digital investors, and auction houses have finally realized something powerful. Imperfection is proof of truth. The very marks that once made people overlook these pennies are now the reason they are skyrocketing in value. Each brown spot, each faint discoloration tells the story of survival. And nothing in numismatics sells stronger than authentic survival. Now let's talk composition, because this coin is a masterpiece of simple metallurgy. The 1946 wheat penny was made from 95% pure copper and 5% tin and zinc, the same mix that powered the earliest Lincoln cents before the war stole their metal away. That's why its surface tone is so rich, warm, and deep, a living blend of chemistry and history that no modern coin can replicate. Collectors refer to high-grade examples like this as copper legends, and once graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, they immediately become elite-tier collectibles, pieces often held in bank vaults or sold only through invitation-only numismatic auctions. But what makes this particular coin so captivating is its circulated condition. That's right, the fact that it shows use doesn't weaken it, it proves its life. It shows that this penny walked through real American hands, through real moments of history, and still survived the test of time with dignity. That's why its value keeps climbing. $135,000 today and rising. Experts predict the next few years could double that, as more collectors chase post-war wheat cents in original condition. Mark my words, this is not fiction. This is a living fortune that grows by the day. So here's your Secret of U.S. Coins collector's tip. If you ever come across a 1946 wheat penny with natural brown spotting, don't dismiss it. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. That dirty look might just be the very trait that makes it a six-figure treasure. Keep it safe. Get it graded. Preserve its patina. Because you're not holding a coin, you're holding a century of American hope pressed into copper, breathing the spirit of rebirth. And as we move forward in our countdown, trust me, the story only gets deeper. Because coin number 9 is not just rare, it's mythical. A coin so extraordinary, so mesmerizing, it left even seasoned collectors speechless. Stay tuned. The next coin might just change what you believe about the value of a single cent. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, bringing you freshly updated stories, treasures, and truths every single day, because history never stops shining, even in copper. Coin number 9. Before America stepped into one of the greatest conflicts in history, a quiet year left behind one of its greatest treasures. This is the story of the 1939 wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin that seems ordinary until you realize it carries the shadow of history itself. Let's rewind time to 1939. Europe trembles as the first sounds of war echo across the world. But in the United States, there is an eerie calm. Factories hum. Markets rebuild after the Great Depression, and the Philadelphia Mint continues its routine, striking the proud Lincoln wheat cent in copper. Yet somewhere between the mint presses and the passage of time, something unexpected happens. A few of these coins struck perfectly with a slightly deeper hue. A light black shade glimmering across their surface begin to stand apart, and collectors decades later would call them the shadow pennies. Why? Because under light, their surface shifts between copper and charcoal, a ghostly tone that no minting machine could ever truly replicate. It's the kind of coin that seems alive, almost breathing with a century of stories. Now, most 1939 wheat pennies were spent and forgotten. Millions passed through hands buying groceries, war bonds, or saving for a dream. But only a handful survived in circulated yet preserved condition with that unmistakable light black patina that whispers of time rather than damage. This isn't dirt, it's the voice of the past. That black shade is formed through natural oxidation, a delicate reaction between the copper and the air of pre-war America. It's nature's signature, proof that this coin lived through the edge of an era and came out unbroken. The composition remains classic, 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc, the very alloy that defined America's early 20th century currency. But this particular coin, the 1939 no-mint wheat penny, carries something more. It's a symbol of transition, a bridge between the Great Depression and the dawn of global war. Collectors cherish these pennies not just for their metal, but for their meaning. Because when you hold a 1939 wheat penny, you hold the silence before the storm. The last moment before America stepped into history's greatest test. And yet, there's another layer to its mystery. The 1939 wheat penny isn't rare because of a mint error or a missing letter. It's rare because so few survived with original toning intact. Almost every penny from that year was polished, cleaned, or corroded over time. But a genuine coin, in circulated condition, with a light black shade and natural luster, that's a discovery worth more than gold. Imagine the scene at a major coin auction in New York. The lights dim. The host raises a gloved hand holding a single copper coin. The audience falls silent. Under the magnifier, that subtle black tone glimmers like smoke on water. The auctioneer speaks. "Ladies and gentlemen, an original 1939 wheat penny, natural toning, circulated but strong, no mint mark." And the bidding war begins. $30,000, $70,000, $100,000. Voices rise, hearts pound. Collectors can feel the history pulsing through the air. And then the final bid, $144,000. The gavel drops. The room erupts. A penny once worth 1 cent, now worth a fortune, a treasure, a legend, a dream realized. And here's the truth. This is no exaggeration. The current market value for coins of this condition, grade, and authenticity is absolutely real. Prices are climbing every month because collectors are waking up to a new truth. The pre-war wheat cents are vanishing. Their rarity isn't in errors or shine, it's in survival. Finding one that still carries its original patina, its natural black sheen, and its deep historical charm is like finding a heartbeat in stone. Experts say the year 1939 no mint wheat penny has entered its renaissance, a phase where collectors are competing aggressively for each authentic piece that surfaces. And the more time passes, the fewer remain. That's why the $144,000 tag isn't the ceiling, it's the foundation. The coin market's appetite for early wheat cents is skyrocketing, especially for pieces that haven't been tampered with. Each one is not just money, it's memory. And memory in the world of rare coins is priceless. Now here's your collector's tip from Secret of U.S. Coins. If you ever come across a 1939 wheat penny that looks darker than normal, maybe with that soft black tone over the copper, don't underestimate it. That toning could be the mark of authenticity that transforms it from pocket change into a life-changing treasure. Handle it carefully. Keep it dry. Don't clean it, not even gently. Let time tell its story. Then send it for grading. Because once certified, it doesn't just become a collectible, it becomes a piece of American soul in your hands. So remember this, value isn't always in shine, but in survival. This coin survived a century of change, and today it rewards that endurance with glory. The 1939 wheat penny, lightly black, quietly powerful, beautifully preserved, a copper shadow from a time when America stood on the edge of history and minted a miracle without even realizing it. And if you thought this was unbelievable, wait until you see what is next. Because coin number 10, the grand finale of this countdown, is the kind of coin that even professional collectors whisper about in awe. A coin so mysterious, so valuable, it might redefine what you think a penny can be worth. Stay tuned, my friends, because you're watching Secret of U.S. Coins where every day we uncover America's lost copper fortunes, freshly revealed and forever unforgettable. Coin number 10. You might look at this coin and think it's just another old penny, worn, dirty, and nearly forgotten. But what if I told you that behind this dusty little piece of copper lies a story of unimaginable fortune? A story that could change how you look at every single penny you have ever touched. Music builds slightly, creating curiosity and thrill. This is the 1958 wheat penny with the Denver mint mark, a coin that collectors around the world whisper about. A coin that hides secrets deeper than the copper it was struck from. And tonight, you're about to see why this small piece of metal has become one of the most talked about legends in the entire coin-collecting universe. Let's rewind the clock to 1958, the final chapter in America's wheat penny legacy. It was the last year the iconic wheat ears design graced the back of our 1-cent coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny had already earned its place in the United States. History not just as currency, but as a symbol of an era defined by hard work, victory, and resilience. But the 1958 D wheat penny carries something extraordinary. It was minted in Denver, and while millions were produced, only a handful of these rare survivors possess unique characteristics that make collectors' hearts race. The one you see here carries decades of mystery, its surface marked by time, its details preserved in defiance of history itself. Notice its dirty patina, the uneven tone across Lincoln's portrait, and the light traces of oxidation along the rim. These are not flaws, they are the signatures of authenticity. These markings tell a story of a coin that has traveled through countless hands, markets, and pockets, a witness to nearly 7 decades of American history. And yet here it is still glowing with the raw power of copper and mystery. Many might overlook a dirty penny, but the true collector, the one who sees beyond appearance, knows that within imperfection lies greatness. The 1958 D is not just any coin, it's one of the final soldiers of the wheat penny era. Each piece carries the spirit of the American minting tradition that ended that very year. That alone makes it a historical masterpiece. But here's where the real suspense begins. Out of the millions minted, only a rare few were struck with subtle die variations and near-perfect alignment, qualities that today set them apart in auction houses and collector showcases. The dirty surface on this one? It's part of its identity, a natural tone that proves it was never tampered with, never cleaned, never polished. That authenticity is what collectors crave. And when one such coin in circulated yet original condition appears at a major coin auction, the bidding wars ignite like wildfire. Every collector in the room knows they are not just buying metal, they are buying history, rarity, and prestige. And when that hammer drops, the crowd goes silent, because this tiny relic just claimed a price tag of $100,000. Dollars. Yes, $100,000 for a single wheat penny, a coin that once held the power to buy a stick of gum, now holds the power to rewrite your fortune. This isn't fiction, it's a reality that continues to astonish the numismatic world. The market for wheat pennies is rising faster than ever before. Collectors and investors are calling it the copper-gold rush, and this 1958 D is one of its crown jewels. Experts say its value could skyrocket even higher as more people realize how few of these pieces remain in their raw, untouched form. Wait for the right time, and its price may turn from thousands to a legendary fortune. That's not an exaggeration. It's a truth we've seen unfold with our own eyes time and again. So if you ever come across a 1958 wheat penny with the Denver mint mark, dirty or not, don't brush it aside. You might be holding a piece of history that carries a hidden wealth, a treasure waiting to be discovered by those who look beyond the ordinary. This was coin number 10 from our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. And if this last one blew your mind, wait till you see what we have next, because every day on this channel, we reveal freshly updated, real, and mind-blowing discoveries from the world of U.S. rare coins. So don't forget, hit that like button, share this video with every collector you know, and subscribe right now to Secret of U.S. Coins where hidden treasures are uncovered every single day. Because the next coin we reveal could be the one sitting in your pocket.